Grace and peace, grace and peace. Good morning, good morning. I pray all is well. This is Prophetess Vicky. Listen, guys, my phone is crazy. It got a mind of its own. And I was doing the videos just then, and it just stopped right in the middle of it. So I'm back again doing this video saying good morning. I pray all is well to all my new followers. God bless you. I thank God for you being a part of this platform. And I pray to God that this platform will be a blessing to you, your family, and your loved ones. And this is
Jazz, the one that's gonna get the camera and stuff right.
yes, cause like I'm recording with two phones, but some reason I don't know. I think I got too much stuff on my phone. Y'all ladies, y'all, we know how they go when we got pictures of ourselves, our loved
fancy
ones.
ladies, not me.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to get it through this video before. Lord, please don't let nothing happen. But good morning anyway, and I pray again all is well. I'm Prophetess Vicky. And this morning, I come to you. A couple of days ago, God had dealt with me about His people going backwards. After He has brought us and rescued us out of a situation, out of a place, from a thing, from a person. After we get our ground and we get strong and we gain ground, we feel like we're strong enough to go back. And He dealt with me strongly about that. And He said, tell my people, every time I deliver them out of a thing, stop going back to it. Because what it does, it makes it harder when you go back. It makes it harder, 7 times harder for you to come back again. And you start wondering, why this seems so hard? Why I've been in it so long? Why it seems so dark, why it seems just like everything is coming down. Because God delivered you once and He brought you out of that thing once and you went back freely on your own. And He said, to tell my people, I said, stop doing that. Stop going backwards. This is not the time to go backwards. You got to go forward. Look forward. Go forward. Whatever God got for you is never back there. Never. You don't need it. Even when you look back over your life and see what God has done for you, you don't have to go back to look at what God has done for you. You don't have to go back and say, let me go way back, 20 steps back, just to see what God done for me. You don't have to do that. God don't want us to go back. He brought us from back there for a reason. To bring us forward, to look forward, to go forward. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous in going backward. Very. I'm a living witness. I have been back before. And I have looked back at things God had brought me out before thinking, okay, yeah, I'm so strong. Oh, I'm good now. I can handle this now. Or they don't act the same. I'm going to go back to that place. It don't feel the same. So maybe I can go and do what if God didn't instruct you to go back and do something, if I was you, I would go forward.
Mm-hmm.
If God don't instruct you to say, you know what, you might have to go back and get somebody. You're not going back. You just going to get somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get somebody that made you left back there, that you done things with. I have got high with people. I told y'all before, I used to be addicted to heroin. I am free. I am clean. I have been free 20-something years. And there is people I had to recently talk to about that. But I didn't go back and put myself in the situation they was in, because sometimes we think we're strong enough to do things and to go places and to handle things that God never intended for us to do. We just thought, it was a good thing. And it may not, and it may have been a good thing. But everything good ain't always God. Ain't always what God told you to do. And what I mean by everything good, I'm going to explain it to y'all, because every good and perfect gift comes from God. The devil can give you things that seems good and tell you, oh, yeah, that's good, girl. Go ahead. Oh, God. Oh, man, that's good. You can go ahead and do that. But if you hadn't he'll paint a picture and make things look good for you and make you think you okay. You can do that. Or you can go here. Or you can go there. But if you didn't hear from God and God had instructed you to go and help somebody, I advise you to keep going forward, because you might go back and get stuck.
While she's looking for her Bible verse, that's true, because I had this dream before, and God told me don't go back to this relationship, and I didn't know what he meant, or he wasn't. I'm not saying he wasn't clear, but the type of person I am, I like to dip my feet in the water and see what he actually meant. So I went back, and when I went back to this person, they did me dirty. So that was him warning me, don't go back, because if you go back, then something bad was going to happen. And I did the complete opposite when he gave me the dream, just not the full dream. And I found out why. So it's never good to go back unless he calls you to go to revisit a situation, and then you're still not going back. You're going forward with the new whole situation. So yeah.
And see, we always, some of us, not all of us, some of us have a thing of saying, I prayed about it, and I asked God. But have you took the time to get a response? Because that's where a lot of times we mess up, even now myself. We'll pray about stuff, and we think once we prayed about it, it's okay to go forward and do whatever we prayed about. But it's not. We must take the time out and wait on a response from God. Because when we pray about something, we want a response right then and there. And if God don't respond, we'll think it's okay to go and do whatever it is that we need to do or we think we should do. And that is not the case. We must wait on God to respond to the question we have asked God, or what we have set before God to answer. We have to be patient. So he said, I notice my people is quick to run back after they have gained ground in a situation with a person or a place or a thing. They run back to it after I have delivered them, after I have rescued them, after they was in that place, that thing, and went through pure hell. And and they cried. They cried. God, you can do this for me this time, God. I promise you, 4 minutes in it all. I promise you, God, that, 10. You hear me? I promise you, God, that I will do this or do this or do this till we get what he gave us. Then we feel like, okay, I can go back now and probably go
and do better
and
change the situation,
or talk to him or talk to her, or go back to that house. Let me tell you something. There's places now I can't go, and it's not because I'm weak. I'm in a place in my life right now that I have to be very, very, very careful where I go, what I do, what I say, what I listen to. Because there is things I've been praying for that's on the edge. I'm on the edge of receiving. So I have to be very careful about who I talk to, where I go, who I listen to, who I allow to touch me. Because everybody can't be in the place that God's taking me. Everybody can't go. That's just plain. Everybody can't go. And I can't go everywhere. And you can't go everywhere. If God tells you keep going, don't look back, you better keep going and don't look back. If God says don't touch that, that's not for you to touch. Or you can't go there. Or you can't talk to her. Or you can't talk to him. He's just like he is our Father. And we have to obey and be obedient. This hour right here, obedience is everything to your next move.
Obedience is the key.
If you've been praying and you've been waiting on God for anything, your obedience in this hour right here is very, very, very important. Very. Yes, we are human. And you can't keep using that. And I'm going to make mistakes. We all are.
Mm-hmm. But to deliberately do it?
Exactly.
Ain't it. Because he's going to keep saving that behind.
When God brings you out of something, take the time, reflect on what you've been through and how it made you feel. Take that time and say, you know what? I don't want to go back to that. Because I remember when I was in that, this happened to me. And that happened to me. I forgive that person. I forgive whoever. God brought me out. And when I was in there, I didn't think I was going to make it. I thought I was going to just have a breakdown. And I remember me praying. And I remember God bringing me out. But guess what? if you do go back to that thing or get back into that thing after you know God brought you out and you saw what it done to you mentally and physically, and you willing to go back, shame on you. Sorry guys, I am back. My video got cut off. So I think I need to just go on my phone and clean it out really good. And even though I know the devil mad, but he can't have the victory. We got the victory. So before I was cut off, we was talking about after God rescue you from a place, person, or thing, to not to go back to it.
And you got the Bible scripture.
So that's what we was talking about before I was really interrupted. We was talking about so I was saying that we must take the time and sit back and reflect on what you so quickly to run back to. Reflect on how that made you feel when you was there in that place with that person or whatever the situation was. Reflect on what you went through, what happened to made you cry and pray out to God to bring you out. Why would you come out? And why would you be free and rescued from a thing that you're willing to go back into without God's permission?
He will have to sit beside me and tell me I can go back. Cause
without God's permission, why?
The things he rescued me from?
Because there is places and people that God rescued me from that I know, like, I can't see myself going back towards it. He would have to change that thing and bring that thing so we can meet.
Mm-hmm.
Because God ain't gonna take me nowhere and just allow somebody to just literally kick me around and just make me a doormat and just treat me any kind of old way. We get ourselves into that type of stuff, and God loves us so much, and we cry out to him, and he helps us out. And then we continue to go back to it. Because maybe that person comes sweet talk you or told you, oh, I'm a better person, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Or I changed, and that's not me no more. Or maybe you left a job, and you went through hell there, or wherever, and you just wind up saying, you get in a desperate place or a place that you need help, and you go back to that place and it's 7 times worse than it was before you left there. So we have to be mindful to not get rescued out of something and run back to it when things seem good for us, or when we feel like, okay, I'm going to handle that differently this time, and you think you're so strong that you can say, well, it ain't going to be like that this time, it's going to be different if you haven't heard from the Lord. I'm going to read more. We must pray for wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for wisdom and discernment, that we'll know if that's God. Because he going to give you. I had people ask me if I want to do something or go somewhere and talk to somebody, how do I know it's God? When you got peace.
He'll let you feel peace. And he gonna give you
when you feel the presence of the peace of God. When you feel God's peace. If you ain't feel no peace or it ain't peace with it within your heart from God, it ain't God. God lead us by his peace. When we got peace in doing a thing or saying a thing or going to a place or letting something go or whatever the situation is, when we got the peace of God, we just lay like a little baby and rest like a little baby, and we know it's God. We know God in it. And when God ain't in it, you're going to feel nervous, you're going to feel anxious, you're just going to feel all type of stuff. Like you just feel like you just need to do it. I would read Philippians 3 and 14. Go to
2 Peter 2 and 21.
okay, go to Philippians 3 and 14. Philippians 3 and 14. I got 3 chapters that I would like to speak to you about. We can't go back. This is in an hour. We are in an hour now. We are in times now. It's dangerous. If God tell you to go forward, it's dangerous to go back. If He tell you to go forward, then why would He tell you to go back? Because obviously He wants you to go forward, and maybe whoever else need what you got, He'll send somebody else. But if He say go back or step
He prep you
and help the next person or that person, He gonna give you what you need, not to get stuck in it. And we got to be prayerful and paying attention to what God say. He might say, do this and keep going. But a lot of times God sends us to a person, we want to do everything. We want to plant a seed. We want to see it grow. We want to see everything. Sometimes God just allows you just to plant a seed and keep going. And He will send somebody else to continue to do, excuse me, what needs to be done. Up here, my sinus, y'all, but I'm okay. So we just got to be very mindful, very stay in the presence of God so you can know, okay, God did tell me to do this, but He didn't tell me. Just like, I'm going to make this quick. A week before last, I met this young man inside Walmart. I was getting my house stuff. And we was talking. And he was telling me that he was struggling with a lot of things. And more, it was addictions. And I ministered to him for a minute. And after that, he asked, could he come out and ministry with me? Because he needed to be around a strong leader. But instantly I heard God say, no. No. I didn't assign you to that. You did what you were told to do. Minister to him right there at that moment. You planted that seed. He said no. Why he said no, I do not know. I have 2 phones. To the ministry, my personal phone. I gave him that number in case he ever needed prayer. God didn't allow him to reach out to me no more. God knew he was not my assignment. My assignment was to release a seed to him, plant that, and keep it going. And God was going to use somebody else. Why God didn't allow that no more? I didn't go back and call and try to figure it out. Is you okay? Because God knew what it was. Mm-hmm. God saw something that I didn't. God his eyes x-rayed. You know how we go to the x-ray machine? His eyes better than that. Because sometimes we go get x-ray down and see stuff that our God can see. So if God tells you to go forward, you better keep going forward. Don't be like Lot's wife. That's the one I want you to look up.
And be salty.
That's the one I want you to look up.
What's that?
Don't do that. I think it's in Genesis. It might be 19. When God said go forward, go forward. When He said don't look back, don't look back. It's a warning. Because some of us think we are strong enough to go forward and come back. Go forward and keep coming back. Go forward and keep coming back. No, go forward, stay forward. He told Lot's wife, he sent angels to bring Lot and his family out of Solomon and Gomorrah. Okay? And he said for them not to look back. And if they did, they would turn into a pillar of salt, which is you did me. The wife stopped, hesitated. They were so familiar with it, none of them wanted to leave. Because they was familiar with where they was at. They didn't want to leave. And they stood there. And the angels had to come and take each and every one of them by the hand and walk them out. Because they were stagnated. They were standing there. They was in a glaze. They didn't want to leave. God said, walk, go. Don't look back. And she stopped and just glanced. Just a little glance. And looked back. That was it. She was done. Read that.
You want to read that actual verse?
We're going to let y'all, we're going to let her read it so y'all don't think I'm sitting up here making stories about how urgent it is to keep going forward and not look back. Sure.
Genesis 19:26. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt.
No, you got to read more than that.
I asked you where you want me to start at.
Yeah,
You want me to go up like 2?
Yeah, so they can understand what was going on.
Genesis 23 then. By the time Lot reached Zoar, I don't know these words, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down, burning sulfur over on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living cities and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt.
Say, listen. If God rescued you from someplace, do you think he just rescued you from that place for no reason? Do you think he told you to keep going for nothing? Do you think he told you to move forward, don't look back for nothing? You think God said that for nothing? If he said that, there was a reason why he told you go forward and not look back. There is something back there that's deadly. That whatever happens to whatever back there, it's going to happen to you if you decide to go back there. If Lot had did what his wife did, he'd have been with her.
They wouldn't have started over at all.
So it's very urgent. It's urgent in this hour. Please, guys, if God bring you from a place, don't go back to it.
It's just like with Noah and the ark. They would have never got up, listened to what he said, then they wouldn't have started
Exactly.
over.
They looked at Noah like he was crazy. They talked about him. They said he was crazy. Where's the rain? Where's your God? Where's your storm? Where's the storm? But obedience is everything in this hour, guys. I'm telling you, obey the voice of God. Everything today, it stands on your obedience. And you being obedient to God. Peter 1:14, it says, so you must live as God obedient children. Don't slip back into your old ways of living to satisfy your own.
Okay, get a drink on break.
See, Peter 1:14. Did y'all hear that? Peter 1:14 now. It says, so you must live as God's obedient children. Live as God obedient children. Don't slip back into your old ways of living to satisfy your own desire. Keep going forward. Even though your desires say, oh yeah, I can go back and be with her, or I can go back and be with him, or I can go back to that house again, or I can go back to that town again. If I was you, I would keep going. If God told you to keep going, you better keep going. Let me tell you something. I'm going to make one last point and I'm going to leave. Bless my sister's soul. Bless her. But I remember one day I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, don't go in that house. He said, don't go in there. And I said, huh? That's my sister. He said, don't go in that house. I said, okay. So I used to drive up, sit outside every day, wouldn't go in. Drive up, sit outside, wouldn't go in. Till one day, he showed me why he said don't go in. And I'm going to tell you, I'll never forget what he showed me. I will not repeat it on this camera because I protect my family's privacy, even though they gone home with the Lord. Still, when he told me not to go in, if I'd have went in, I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all. I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all. So all I'm saying, as I end this video, please listen. Be led by the Spirit of God. Let God direct you. Ask for wisdom. Ask for discernment. If God brought you out of something, don't go back. Going back can make it deadly for you. That's all. With that being said, I'm going to end this video. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. And I just had to come before you and give you what God gave me. And I'm sorry for all the disconnections because my phone got cut off twice. I'm using my daughter's phone now.
But one monkey don't stop a show.
So I kept going. I don't know how this is going to tie up the videos, but we're going to tie them up. So with that being said again, God bless y'all. I love y'all. Be safe for these holidays and keep God first. And please go forward in the things of God. Love you. Peace.